Hello everyone, welcome to the 1% of the sports fans. Can you ace it? This is the 50 question quiz presented by the BJ Show. Do you think you are sports genius? We got 50 questions just for you. Well, it may be a touch. That is okay, but it's all about giving it a go. But each corner of sporting off around the world, this quiz will take to the streets. See if you can find the best from the best sports from the 1%. We got fun sport. Here we go. Let's rock and roll. So, welcome all. And this is a really what I called really important moments here on the BJ Show. So, welcome all to this very important quiz. Do you have it takes to be a sports genius? Well, this is the place for you. So, before we get into it, challenge your friends with going grab that pen and paper, maybe a cup of tea and your bickies. Biscuits is what I meant. Well, bouncing in for 10 seconds on your screen. Have fun. That's two rules. That's simple. Here we go. Oh, yeah. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That would be much appreciated. You do not want to miss what is coming up next with all the 1% of sports quiz. Okie dokie. So here is the first topic. So January was Sporting Olympics. So good luck, all the best. Let's get with just a little bit of a start your brain a little bit. Here we go. I'm going to test your knowledge. Have some fun. Here we go. Well, here is your first question. What does MBA stand for? You got National Basketball Association. This is the American Basketball League. You are correct. So there you go. We drive into question number 2. How long is a marathon? The world big B, a general 26.2 miles. That is pretty good effort. Here is your question number 3. In what game is love a score? You heard the in tennis? That's the correct answer. Whereas simple means 0. Cut to the streets of Cup. Person 2 thinks for a moment it is tennis. So there you go. Question 4. What color are the goalposts in American football? They are bright yellow. So pretty if people know about the American football, they'll know. But for those don't know, you do now. All right, we bounce into question number 5. What is the highest score position in a single game of bowling? If you got the perfect game of 300 pins or points, easy said, then done. If you can get 10 frames or lanes, as they say, of bowling, 300 is the maximum you can score. I've scored 216 out of 300. I'm getting there, but that's not enough. But that's okay. Here we go, your question number 6. Which sport is famously known as the king of sports? If you got the title belong to soccer, or the most of the world called it football. So you got football, soccer, another name for it. You're correct. Well done. Question 7. What is the world's most watched sporting events? If you got, it's the FIFA World Cup final. Nothing else really comes close to uniting the glory like that. Here we go. Question number 8. How many Grand Slam titles are there each year in tennis? If you got, there are 4 major tournaments in a year. Here we go. Question number 9. How long is an Olympic swimming pool? The correct answer is these measurement pools are 50 meters long. Here we go. We're finishing with the 10th question for part number 4, or sorry, part 5 out of these sessions. Here we go. Question 10. Which city becomes the first to host the Summer Olympic 3 times after the 2024 Games? If you got the history on it, how now goes to Paris. Well, with person 3 looks stum, old man Paris. No, Wayne, it's London. How have you gone so far? Have you got 10 out of 10 so far? Or wait, or have you given it a go? No worries with that. Have you learned something from so far? But wait, there's more to come. Oh, I can't wait. So don't go too far. In the meantime, go and grab your drink, Saturday cup of tea, or any time of drawing. Not too crazy. There are so many other sports questions for sport quiz to come. Oh, make sure you do your big favour, hit that subscribe button. That will help a lot. So thank you so much. And also just generally listening to this quiz. I can't wait for more to come. But here is the part 2 of the sports quiz. Well, your next topic is football and soccer. Here we go. Question number 11. Which country won the first ever FIFA World Cup back in 1930? If you got the host, Ukraine lift the very first trophy. Congratulations as well. We'll dive into question number 12. Which team has won the most England or English Premier League titles? If you got that record belongs to Manchester United, you're correct. All right, question number 13. How many players are on a standard soccer team on the field at one time? If you got 11 players each side, well done. That was a general basic easy one as well. Just to make it a little bit maybe a little bit challenging, but yeah. 11 players, it's the correct answer. Question 14. Which country has won the most FIFA World Cups? Have we got the world being Brazil with a record of 5 titles? That is just incredible. 5 titles. Congratulations to Brazil so far being a very, very good football team in part of Europe or thereabouts. Okay, here is your 16th question. Who was the first British player to win leagues titles in 4 different countries? Have you got the one and only golden icon David Beckham? What a star he was in the English Premier League, especially. Here we go. Question number 17. Which country won the first ever Women's World Cup? Have you got United States? That is who started off an era of domination in Women's World Cup. Well done to the United States. Here we go. Your question 18. What is the top division of the English football called? They call it the Hardcation Premier League. It's the correct answer. Here is your 19th question. Which country is known for its samba style of soccer? If you got the blue ribbon style is Simpson with Brazil is the correct answer. Here we go. Well, we are about to move on to our next sport. So stay tuned for the right now. Here's your final question for soccer and football. Here we go. Good luck. Question 20. How many teams compete in the English Premier League? If you got the answer of 20 teams in the league, you're correct. Well, we're there on your screen. We come to the basketball, my all-time favourite sport. We come to the halfway mark of the quiz as well. So, what do you think so far? Have you enjoyed it so far? Well, here is your next topic. Well, obviously, it's basketball. Well, good luck. Here is your 21st question. Which teams, two teams, question 21, which two teams are tied for the most NBA championships? If he got the most rivals in the league, the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers has had the most titles in the NBA history, and they have tied together. Here we go. Question number 22. Who is the all-time leading scorer in the NBA regular season history? If you have the record of new belongs to the one and only LeBron James, with the news for Coringa, but now it's LeBron now being the all-time scorer in the regular NBA season. Here's your 23rd question. Who was the youngest player to score 10,000 points in the NBA? Here we got another record held by the King James himself, LeBron James. Pretty good effort from the experienced player in this great basketball sport. Here is your 24th question. All right, let's see who's been paying attention. We already asked this, but what two teams shared the record for the most NBA titles? Again, that is Bolton Celtics and the Los Angeles, known for LA Lakers. Here's your 25th question. How many NBA titles did the legendary Michael Jordan win? His Ernest won 6 championships with the Chicago Bulls. Here's your 26th question. Now for the follow up. Who did LeBron James pass to become the NBA's all time leading scorer? So, which player where LeBron scored that all time 10,000 point all timer? So, it took to the crowd from the legacy Kenyan Rajibon, who held the record for the nearly 40 years in NBA history. Pretty incredible achievement. 26, question 27. Which team won the very first NBA game ever in 1946? If you got the answer, the New York Knicks took home the win in the first historic first game. Pretty incredible. Here is your 28th question. In 2020, question 28. In 2013, which team did LeBron James captain to an NBA championship? He was leading the charts for the Miami Heat that year, and pretty effort. The Cavs, no, that was another team. He was there to win another also a championship as well. Here's your 29th question. Who was the first European born player to win the NBA MVP award? You got the German giant Dirk Nowitzki. That is correct. Pretty good effort. Here we go. We come to the final question for the basketball quiz. Here is the question, Mama. Question number 30. How many minutes are in each quarter of the Olympic men's basketball game? If you got, unlike at the NBA Olympics, are shorter, they are 10 minutes per quarter. They also play that in the NBL. Okie dokie, we come to our next sport, which is for that quiz, which is American sport, the National Football League, and the well with the M major NLB. So we covered the glory. Now let's get into the two American classics, football and baseball, the major baseball. This is where the real diehards make their money. First up, we'll share the MLB, then the NFL. All right, good luck. Here we go. Which team lost the very first Super Bowl? If you got the answer of Kansas City Chiefs, who fell to the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl. Here we go, question 32. Which NFL team has their own logo on only one side of the helmets? Alright, the Omnic looks belong to the Parish Fifth Steelers. We're on to now question 33. What is the oldest commenson tending team in the NFL? Believe it or not, it's the Amaze Canada's with the roots going all the way back to 1898. So there you go, the Green Bay Packers hosting a classic actual to the Canadas. Here is your 34th question. Who was the first African American quarterback to win a Super Bowl? His histrionic achievement belonged to Doug Williamson. Here is your next question with the 35th on your screen, with 5 questions remaining of the NFL. How much does a standard NFL football wage or weight? The correct answer is it comes in between 14 and 15 outcomes, so just under a pound. Pretty impressive, huh? Now let's step up to the plate for some baseball. Which MLB player holds the record for the most career wins as a pitcher with a major award named after him? If you got the will be incredible C.Y. Young. It's the correct answer. Question 37. What is the terms for a player who gets a hit in 56 convention games, a record set by Joe D. Mungo? Here we go. You know the answer. It's known as a hitter strike, one of the most unbreakable records in sports. Question 38. How many strikes does it take before the umpire calls a batter out in baseball? The correct answer is three strikes. Three strikes. Three strikes. You're out. Now you're saying Malcolm movies are common for that. You know the answer for that. Pretty simple question if you know baseball pretty well as well, obviously. All right, here's your 39th question. Which MLB player was famously known as the Boomerang? Here we got the one and only legend, Babe Ruth. It's the correct answer. Here is the final question for the MLB and NFL. Good luck. Question 40. Who holds the record for the most career triples in MLB history? If you got this, is the tough one. The record holds is old timer Sam Crawford. We've come to the final quiz for the top 50. We've come to selection of hockey and more. This is the final scratch. We've got 10 more. That's it, 10 more questions left. We're hitting the ice and a mix of other sports and truly separates from the Cananas from the patches. Here we go. Good luck. Let's go on with it. Here's your 42nd question. What is the most nickname of very same player? If you got a simple, he is the great one. Well, that's impossible to say. The great one, Wayne Gretzky. Here's your 43rd question. What is the terms for scoring 3 goals in a single NHL game? If you go, it's called a hat trick. So think of maybe in cricket, hat trick, 3 in a row. There you go. Turkeys are bowling. Simple as that. How about that? Question 44. What is the name of the trophy award to the NHL Most Valuable Player? If you got it, it's the Hart Manfred Trophy. It's the correct answer. We come to the 45th question. Here we go. Which team holds the most record for the most points in a single NHL season? Have we got the 2022-23 Boston Bonus set the incredible record with 135 points. That is a very good effort. Question 46. Just to be sure you know your Glee facts. Who is the all-time leading in career points scored in a NHL? It's Wayne Gretzky, and it's not even close. Here we go. Question 47. What animate 200 lap shot car race is conventional NAS cars biggest event? Here we got the Dayton 500. That is the correct answer. Pretty big event as well. For 200 lap event is pretty effort. Here we go. Your 48th question. Which sport used the terms Berkeley? If you got the terms of golf for scoring one strike under one from the pair, that's correct. Here we go, your 49th question. What is the highest possibility checkout in a game of darts? If you got the perfect checkout, is a 170. That is the correct answer. Here we go. Good luck. Here's your 50th question. Olympian legend to finish us off. Who held the record for the most Olympic gold medals in history? And we made to the final question as well. Good luck. Well, the whole being the human fish himself, a swimmer, Michael Phillips, the all-time 23 gold medals in history, cannot be broken. Congratulations on Michael Phillips from being with the 23rd all-time gold medals in Olympic history. Well, that's it, the 50 quiz. Oh my goodness, it's complete, but what do you think? Well, What do you think of this quiz? Did you enjoy it? If so, please go and subscribe as well, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for your support. That's it, your support. All right. Thanks for watching. BJ shows out. Thanks. Peace out. Bye for now.